When people think of the symphony, they tend to think of a lot. Black ties and evening gowns, luxury, academia, highbrow, elitist, old music written by dead, powdered wig-wearing European men. Snobby, boring, irrelevant, exclusive. There's this idea, especially in the classical music world, that fine arts are just for the rich, the privileged, the academics, and the professionals. Forget the hobbyist musician who learned in high school and hasn't played since. Ignore the listener who doesn't have an extensive knowledge of music history. Leave behind the folks who weren't raised to have an appreciation. Don't even mention family-friendly, diverse, or accessible. That attitude translates very poorly to most folks as "it's not for me." Not for me. Those words sit like padlocks on concert hall doors, keeping a wall up between artists and audiences. The point of art is to create culture, experience, and human connection. Without audiences, we lose artists. Without artists, we lose audiences. The vicious cycle spirals downward. Nobody wins. 40 years ago, a tight-knit group of local creatives set out to change that. They called it the DeLand Little Symphony, and the ensemble's first gigs decorated the halls of retirement homes in the community. The passion project of 14 DeLand troubadours grew over the next few decades into a group of 45 musicians from all over Volusia County. The moniker using DeLand and Little didn't quite fit the symphony anymore, so they adapted the name, the Volusia Community Symphony. When the world shut down for the COVID-19 pandemic, the symphony disbanded with no promises on a return date. Most of us like to try and forget that time. It left scars. But if there's one lesson the global community learned from lockdown, it's how much we rely on the arts. Everyone turned to music, to books, to movies and TV shows. Folks picked up new hobbies, like painting, baking, writing, and making music. It's no surprise that in August of 2021, the Volusia Community Symphony revived with renewed vigor at a staggering membership of nearly 60 people. The musicians of Volusia County chanted, "The show must go on." No audition needed, no membership dues, no cutthroat competition. Just a group of local musicians sharing what we love with the community. Because you can never have too much music, VCS rebranded a final time in 2022 to Volusia Community Arts, with the aspiration of expanding to include smaller ensembles and eventually other art forms. The theft of over $40,000 worth of instruments in January of 2023 left VCA flailing. Trying to recover as an organization in a post-pandemic world is no easy task, and the theft felt like it could have been a final closing blow. We were wrong in the best way. The community rallied, news coverage of the event struck, and donations started rolling in. Folks that had never heard of VCA before turned out for concerts. This time, the audience was the one chanting, "The show must go on." Concert themes like classical jukebox, night at the movies, and Saturday morning cartoons bring traditionally unlikely audiences of all ages and walks of life to the symphony. Today, it's not uncommon for VCA to sell out a show, maxing out our capacity at 550 seats. Forget the elitist reputation. Music connects people across generations, and the Volusia community fought tooth and nail to prove it. The arts belong to everyone, to the hobbyist musicians, to the students, to the "I played that years ago" folks, to the movie scores and soundtrack fans, to the wiser generations, to the youth of the next generation. Welcome to your Volusia Community Arts experience. This legacy is all for you.